3 weeks, 4,000 kilometers, amazing beach camps, and incredible food. How much did it all cost? If you want to have a bit of fun, go ahead and drop your guess for the total cost in the comments below. In this video, I wanted to run you through my budget for 3 weeks in Baja, let you know how I spent my money, where I spent it, and hopefully give you some insights if you're planning your own Baja trip on what to expect. As you might guess, our single biggest expense was fuel, followed by the miscellaneous costs of travel in Mexico, things like insurance, our tourist cards, and toll roads, followed up by our camping fees that we paid, and then finally it was food. So let's jump right into fuel. With the auxiliary fuel tank in the Troopy, we carry 180 liters of fuel, or about 47 gallons. And in October of 24, when we took this trip, our average fuel price that we encountered was right around 25 pesos per liter. This felt a bit high to me based on my past Baja experiences, but 2024 has been a weird year for gas down there. From strikes and shortages over the summer that really jacked prices up, it seems like things are just now starting to correct themselves and come back down to more of a normal level, but it is what it is. And now, the Troopy's fuel consumption is certainly not great. We get about 18 liters per 100 kilometers, or about 13 miles per gallon. And in the course of these 3 weeks, traveling 4,000 kilometers, we burned 720 liters of fuel for a total cost of right around 18,000 pesos, which is about 900 US dollars. Now, our next category is what I'm calling the cost of traveling in Mexico. It's our Mexican insurance policy, our FMMs or tourist cards at the border, and the toll roads we drove on, which are sometimes avoidable, sometimes unavoidable. If you're driving in Mexico, you have to get a Mexican insurance policy. That's unavoidable. I went through Baja bound for a month-long policy, and it was $170. I got to declare a value for the Troopy. It was full coverage, and I had nothing to worry about, so definitely worth it. The FMM or tourist card is something you have to do at the border. It's only required if you're staying for longer than a week, and there's a lot of mixed reviews on whether or not you truly need it. No one ever asked for it. No one checked it on our way out or through military checkpoints, anything like that. But better safe than sorry. That was about 40 US dollars. And finally in this category is the toll roads. We only spent about $10 on tolls during our time in Baja. I think we hit toll booths 4 or 5 times, and each one was right around $2. You're gonna wanna have small bills, preferably pesos, to be able to deal with these tolls, but it's not a big deal. So for the cost of traveling in Mexico, we're right at around $220. Our next budget category is camping. Over our 3 weeks in Baja, we stayed at a mix of paid campsites and free wild camps that we found on places like Overlander. The cost for camping varies pretty significantly, and in the shoulder season of October, there is a bit of room for negotiation, especially for multiple night stays. But in peak season, prices are pretty firm. Our most expensive night of camping was 500 pesos, and our cheapest camp was 100 pesos for the night. Most commonly, we found places charging right around 200 pesos for a night of camping. So for our trip, we spent 2,100 pesos over 10 nights of paid camping for a total of right around 100 US dollars. Now, our final budget category here is food, and food is really where Baja shines. If you know where to look, you can eat like a king for so cheap, and it is so good. The majority of our meals came from roadside stands, cafes or luncherias, serving up incredible machaca burritos and fish tacos. Seriously, so good. We also sat down at a couple of restaurants, and we went to the grocery store a few times. This includes all of that, all of the burritos I ate, all of the fish tacos, all of the Pacificos I drank, for a grand total of about 3,000 pesos, or right around $150, which is a number that is a lot lower than I thought it would be. We also refilled our water tank once, and I'm including this in the food category because I didn't know where else to put it. I've got a 21-gallon fresh water tank in here, and we stopped in the town of Loreto to refill it with purified, clean drinking water, and it was only $4 for 21 gallons. So kind of a negligible cost, but I figured I would let you know how much it was. So for our 3 weeks in Baja, that brings our grand total to right around $1,500 or about $500 per week. With our biggest expense being fuel, it's clear to me that the best way to bring down my average daily cost for a trip like this is simply to move slower. We were covering a lot of ground in a short amount of time and refueling our gas tank pretty often because of it. I'm really looking forward to next year on the Pan American Highway, being able to move a little bit slower, spend multiple days in some of these incredible places, and that should have a pretty positive impact on my budget overall. Let me know how this cost lines up with your initial guess, and let me know what you're budgeting for your own Baja trips. If you've got tips to save money, please drop them below because I'd love to hear them. Thank you so much for being here. If you like what I'm doing, it is a huge help to hit that thumbs up button or subscribe if you haven't already, because there is a lot of good stuff in store. Until next time, get out and explore somewhere.